Let me begin by telling you a truth that may challenge everything you've been doing up until now. Your destiny is not determined by the big moments. It's shaped by what you do before the world even sees you. The greatest breakthroughs, the sharpest minds, the most fulfilled lives, they don't happen by accident. They are designed. And they start with one thing: a powerful, intentional morning routine. Because listen to me, how you start your day determines how you live your day, and how you live your day determines your future. Let me tell you something that'll shake the dust off your destiny. The way you start your morning is the way you live your life. You either command the morning or the morning commands you. And if you let the morning control you, if you let it push you around, don't be surprised when your day feels scattered, your mind feels heavy, and your purpose feels distant. See, most people don't realize the war has already begun before they even open their eyes. And by the time they do, they're already losing. Why? Because they're waking up reacting. The alarm goes off, and they hit snooze. They grab the phone, scroll through social media, respond to notifications. They're already being pulled, distracted, scattered. That's not a life of power. That's a life of survival. That's not ownership. That's slavery to chaos. You were not created to live reactive. You were created to live intentional. You were made to be a commander, not a responder. The truth is, when you wake up reacting, you're already behind. Your mind hasn't even found its footing, and yet your soul is already under attack by the noise of the world. But the people who lead, the ones who walk in purpose, they don't start that way. They rise with purpose. They get up before the world starts shouting at them. They know something most people don't, that the early hours are sacred. That's the place where vision is sharpened. That's where clarity is cultivated. That's where strength is built. That's when the mind and the spirit are still enough to hear the truth instead of the noise. A person who owns their morning doesn't need to beg for motivation. They walk in momentum. And momentum is worth more than motivation. See, motivation is like a spark. It comes and goes. But momentum carries you. Momentum makes decisions easier. Momentum moves mountains that motivation can't even touch. But here's the part nobody wants to talk about. It takes discipline to claim your morning. You have to get up, even when you don't feel like it. You have to resist the pull of comfort and convenience. You have to shut down the lazy voice in your head that says, just 5 more minutes. Number 5. More minutes turns into 5 more regrets. 5 more regrets turns into 5 more lost years. We don't have time to waste. Not when your purpose is on the line. Every morning is a fresh opportunity to take control. And you don't need a $1 million plan. You need a decision. Decide that your morning will be yours. Decide that you won't be dictated by distractions. Decide that your mind, your soul, and your spirit deserve more than starting the day in chaos. Because when you claim your morning, you claim your thoughts. You claim your energy. You claim your direction. You claim your power. And when a man or a woman walks into the day already full of clarity, full of gratitude, full of direction, the world doesn't stand a chance. So stop waking up like life is happening to you. Start rising like life is waiting on you. And when your feet hit the floor tomorrow morning, don't move like a victim. Move like someone who's taking ground. Claim your morning. Because when you do, you're not just changing your schedule. You're changing your life.
Let me tell you something that will shift the way you look at yourself forever. Your routine is not just a list of things you do. It's not just about brushing your teeth, checking your phone, grabbing coffee. Number. Your routine is your identity in motion. It's the physical proof of who you really are and who you're becoming. You don't need to tell me what you believe about yourself. I can look at your mornings and tell you everything I need to know. Because here's the truth. People love to say, I want to be disciplined. I want to be successful. I want to be a leader. I want to be confident. But wanting doesn't change anything. Wishing doesn't shift your destiny. What changes everything is doing what disciplined people do. You can't pray for the future and keep practicing the past. If you want to be great, you need to move like greatness already lives inside you. Stop waiting to feel like the person you say you want to become. Start acting like them. You don't rise to the level of your potential, you fall to the level of your patterns. And every single morning, you either prove your vision or you betray it. You either align with the identity of a builder, a creator, a finisher, or you reinforce the identity of someone who stays stuck in the same cycle year after year. Your habits are louder than your words. Your routine is louder than your goals on paper. If you want to be powerful, your routine has to include time for your mind, your body, and your spirit. If you want to be peaceful, you can't start your day with chaos and wonder why anxiety keeps following you around. If you want to be productive, then your mornings can't be filled with distractions and wasted time. You can't expect excellence from a life you haven't trained for. It's not about doing what's easy. It's about doing what aligns with your purpose. What you do every morning is telling the world who you are becoming. And more importantly, it's telling you who you are. When you rise early, when you sit in silence and connect with your vision, when you move your body, when you guard your thoughts, you are declaring, I am someone who takes life seriously. I am someone who leads myself before I lead others. I am someone who honors the calling on my life. The issue is not that you're lazy. The issue is not that you're broken. The issue is that your actions and your identity are out of alignment. That gap, that's where the frustration lives. Because deep down you know who you're meant to be, but your routine hasn't caught up with your revelation. And until you bring those things into agreement, you will always feel stuck. You don't need more motivation. You need agreement. Agreement between your vision and your habits. Agreement between your purpose and your practice. Agreement between who you say you are and how you show up when nobody's watching. So don't just talk about change. Live it. Show me your morning and I'll show you your future. You're not waiting on a breakthrough. Your breakthrough is waiting on you to finally align your life with the greatness that's already inside you. Your routine is your identity in action. So act like who you're becoming already exists. And eventually, you'll catch up to it. Let me give you a principle that will completely shift how you live your life. The first hour of your day is not just another 60 minutes. It is sacred ground. It is the launch pad for your mind, your body, your spirit, and your future. And if you don't protect it, like your life depends on it, you'll keep wondering why your life feels like it's running in circles. Most people treat the first hour like it doesn't matter. They wake up, and the first thing they touch is their phone. They scroll, they compare, they react. Before their feet even touch the floor, they've surrendered the direction of their day to a notification, an opinion, a distraction. That's not just a bad habit. That's self-sabotage. You can't start your day soaking in noise and expect to walk in peace. You can't start your day in chaos and expect to move with clarity. That first hour? That's not where the day begins. That's where your legacy is shaped. You've got to pour into yourself before you pour into the world. That first hour is when you feed what matters most: your soul, your body, your mind, and your mission. And if you don't pour into you, don't be surprised when you feel empty by noon. Don't be surprised when your decisions lack direction and your emotions stay unsteady, because you tried to run a full day on an empty tank. So what do you do with that hour? You invest it. You sow seeds of power, wisdom, clarity, and alignment. You start by centering your spirit, Whether it's prayer, meditation, or quiet stillness, you go inward before you go outward. You connect with purpose before you face pressure. Because the world is loud. And if you don't get still, you'll forget who you are and start chasing who they say you should be. Then you move your body, get the blood flowing, breathe deep, sweat a little. Not for abs, not for looks, for energy, for stamina, for discipline. Because how you treat your body sets the tone for how you handle life. If you push through resistance in the gym, you'll push through resistance in business, in relationships, in purpose. Then you sharpen your mind. Read, journal, learn, reflect. You need fresh thoughts to create a fresh life. You can't live on recycled thinking and wonder why your results don't change. New input equals new output. You take in wisdom and then you write out, not for the world, for yourself. To process, to see your thoughts, to capture your growth. And then you lock in your direction, review your goals, visualize your future. Remind yourself of where you're going and why you're going there. Because if you don't set your own target, someone else will hand you theirs. And let me tell you, their target won't fulfill you. Their vision won't satisfy you. You've got to see your future before you live it. That's how you walk with confidence through every distraction and every delay. You protect that first hour like your life depends on it, because it does. Your peace depends on it. Your productivity depends on it. Your purpose depends on it. If you don't protect it, the world will steal it. And when the world steals your first hour, it robs your entire day of power. So stop giving that hour away. Take it back, own it, master it. Because when you win the first hour, you don't just win the day, you win the week, the month, the year, and ultimately, your life. Let me give you a truth that might sound upside down at first, but once you grasp it, it'll flip your whole life right side up. Discipline is not your prison. It's your passport to freedom. The very thing most people try to avoid is the exact thing that sets you free. They say, I don't want to be tied down to a routine. I want to be free. But they don't realize, without discipline, there is no freedom. Without structure, there is no strength. Without routine, there is no real progress. You've been taught to think that freedom means doing whatever you want, whenever you feel like it. But look at where that mindset has led. Look at the anxiety. Look at the stress. Look at the missed opportunities and broken promises you made to yourself. That's not freedom. That's bondage, dressed up as comfort. Real freedom is when you wake up and know exactly what you're about to do because you've trained yourself to move with purpose, not emotion. A disciplined morning is not about rules. It's about results. It's about choosing a life that works instead of settling for a life that just happens. Because listen, when you start your day with discipline, you don't spend the rest of your day cleaning up your mess. You don't waste hours putting out fires you started by neglect. You walk into your day strong, focused, and grounded. That's freedom. When you lack discipline, you don't get more time. You get more regret. You don't get more peace. You get more pressure. Because without discipline, the consequences come looking for you. The chaos shows up. The excuses get louder. You scramble instead of execute. You react instead of lead. And now, you're not free. You're stuck in a cycle of frustration, wishing for a better life, but not doing what it takes to live it. Discipline is how you take ownership of your life. It's how you tell the world, I know where I'm going, and I refuse to hand over my power to feelings, distractions, or delay. It's not about being perfect. It's not about doing everything right. It's about refusing to live passive, refusing to let the day tell you who you are. Refusing to let your past dictate your future. Because every time you choose discipline, you break the chain of who you used to be. Every time you wake up and stick to your routine, even when it's uncomfortable, even when no one's watching, you are saying, I'm not the same person I was last year. I'm not staying at this level. I'm building something. Discipline is not punishment. It's preparation. You're training your body to obey your vision. You're training your mind to follow your faith. You're building a life that can carry the weight of your calling. And here's the part most people miss. Once discipline becomes your default, everything gets easier. Your decisions become clearer. Your confidence gets stronger. Your results multiply. Why? Because you're no longer negotiating with yourself every morning. You already decided. You already made the commitment. And now your actions are catching up with your identity. So if you really want to be free, free to build, free to lead, free to create, free to live fully, you must embrace discipline, not just once, daily, not just when it's convenient, when it's hardest.
Let me tell you something most people never grasp. Momentum is not given, it is built. And if you don't learn how to build it, you'll spend your life starting and stopping, burning out and giving up, wondering why others are moving forward while you feel stuck in the same place. Momentum is the secret force that turns average effort into extraordinary results. But it doesn't come through bursts of intensity. It comes through daily consistency. You don't need to be the fastest. You don't need to be the smartest. You just need to keep showing up over and over and over again. Because success isn't for the person who shines the brightest in a moment. It's for the one who refuses to stop moving, even when the feelings fade, even when the mood changes, even when nobody's clapping. See, intensity is emotional. It flares up and fades out. But consistency, that's spiritual. That's rooted. That's powerful. You build momentum by mastering your morning. Because the morning is where you set the tone. It's where you establish control. And it's where you either train your mind to dominate the day or you let the day dominate you. Every time you wake up and follow through on your morning routine, you're not just doing tasks. You're stacking wins. You're building belief. You're reminding yourself, I'm someone who finishes. I'm someone who follows through. I'm someone who can be trusted with the vision on my life. Momentum works like compound interest. One powerful morning leads to one powerful day. One powerful day leads to one powerful week. And those weeks start stacking. Suddenly you look up and you're not who you used to be. You've got rhythm. You've got clarity. You've got strength. Not because you had some magical breakthrough, but because you built something when no one was watching. And here's the thing. Momentum makes hard things easier. It doesn't remove the work, but it removes the resistance to the work. When you've got momentum, discipline becomes natural. Focus becomes automatic. Confidence becomes a byproduct, not a performance. But without momentum, everything feels harder than it has to be. You second guess. You delay. You start negotiating with your goals. And you waste energy trying to restart what you should have never stopped. The reason most people never taste real success is not because they aren't capable. It's because they keep stopping. They take a few good steps, don't see instant results, and give up. But life doesn't reward the dabblers. It rewards the builders. The ones who understand that momentum doesn't feel magical at first. It feels mundane. It looks like getting up early when nobody sees. It looks like saying no to distractions, saying yes to what you committed to. That's where the power is. You want to change your life? Stop chasing hype and start stacking habits. Small actions done daily will always outperform big intentions done occasionally. Every time you keep your word to yourself, you're adding fuel to the fire. Every time you start the day with purpose, you're pushing the wheel forward. And the beautiful part is, once that wheel starts turning, it keeps turning. You begin to move through resistance with ease. You start expecting progress instead of hoping for it. And that expectation becomes a force that pulls more results into your life. So stop waiting for motivation. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Build momentum. Build it through your mornings. Build it through your choices. Build it until the energy of your own consistency carries you places no shortcut ever could. Because when you build momentum, you're not just moving, you're becoming unstoppable.